Hi, I'm Christina Salerno, the creator and curator of Living Quirky, and I am here with Sasha Cagen. She is a writer and dating and relationship coach and creator of the Quirky Tango Adventure.
Woo!
Hello,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Christina.
Thank you for being here. So I'd love to hear a little bit more about tango for you. I know it does um, play a really big part in who you are and like your story behind this new adventure that you're creating for people. So can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I discovered tango 3.5 years ago when I was traveling alone in South America, in Colombia, actually. So it was a very quirky and unexpected discovery because I was staying in Cali, which is the world capital of salsa. So this woman from Belgium at my hostel invited me to go to a tango club, and I just said yes because I basically developed the philosophy of saying yes whenever possible, and it was just like, yes, I want to go with you. And that was the first time I ever saw tango, that night in Colombia, where I saw this dance performance. I had never seen it before. I had the cliche image of the rose and the teeth, this which is not at all. And the dance was so subtle and connected, and I could absolutely feel their connection from across the room in a way that was completely different than salsa, which is more like having fun and upbeat and energetic. And tango was all about the connection between these two people. And I was just totally riveted by them because I could feel it. I could actually feel it in my body, what they were feeling in a way. And so my friend Greet from Belgium and I decided that we would take lessons with the guy who was performing that night. And so we started in his garage in Colombia learning, and we got totally obsessed. And actually, after 6 weeks, I gave a tango show at that same club with another teacher, which was completely audacious and wild because that you don't know tango after 6 weeks at all. But I had such great teachers there, and I was having so much fun that I just wanted to do it. So that was a really amazing moment for me because it was like bringing my sexuality and my pride and performing in a way that I never thought I would perform as a dancer in front of like 120 people in Colombia. It was just amazing. And from there, I decided to go with Greet to Buenos Aires, and I spent 2 months there. And basically, I've just developed this incredible passion and love for tango as a dance and also a way of life and a metaphor. So since I'm this person who has always studied connecting to yourself and connecting to another person, I realized that tango being the ultimate partner dance and being totally a physics of two people and connection was just the ultimate metaphor for that too, for life and relationship off the dance floor. And there are so many ways that I have grown as a person through tango that I basically just want to share this with people because the dance itself is total bliss. Like, really, there's nothing that has been such bliss for me in my whole life. I was always searching for a hobby, like that thing that was going to be my thing. I'm like, oh my God, I found it. I had things I liked, but no, this is something I really love. And then it also has this deep metaphorical level that really is like a personal quest. And when I went back to live in Buenos Aires last year, I found my people who think of tango that way. And they have a workshop called Tango, which is sort of combining psychology and culture and tango.
Ooh.
So I learned all these exercises and this way of thinking about tango in a sort of deep psychoanalytical way. And just like connection. So even if you don't really know how to dance it, you can like feel the energy. It's a little bit like biodanza, which is another thing about dance and connection. So I just feel like I have learned so much, and I know so many amazing people in Buenos Aires that I was like, well, next time I want to create a trip and share this with people. And that's what I'm doing in May.
Yeah, I think it's really awesome what you're about to what this adventure. It's like I also love tango and dancing and movement and yes, connection and so can you share a little bit more like I've seen you write about how um you describe it as discovering yourself on a tango adventure. So,
Mm.
so like I mean, obviously, it's not just dancing in a foreign country. Like, can you go a little bit more into that?
Okay, that's a great question. So I think that tango allows you to discover yourself in a way because it really asks you to connect to yourself and find your center of balance within yourself. So tango is this cool thing where two people are leaning in toward each other and making a heart connection here, right? So, like, this is one person and this is the other person. But each person needs to be in their own center of balance in order to create this other center of balance between the two. So, basically, you're negotiating between your own balance and finding yourself and connecting to yourself. And this person is too. And then the two are creating a third. And then, so there's that discovery of like, how do I connect to another person and remain connected to myself? Like that's, and of course you're going to lose your balance a million times, but you keep coming back to yourself. So that's a really interesting quest. And then the other way you discover yourself, I mean, tango really asks you through the study of it to cultivate your whole body, like absolutely, even your ear. Like if I make a turn, I'm going to lead with my ear. So it's sort of this discovery of the sensuality of your whole body.
Hmm.
And tango is like, people think of tango as sexy, but it's not sex, but it is deeply sensual, that like you're actually feeling, you're asked to like feel everything. And then when you're feeling another person and you're feeling the music, it like can make your whole body tingle. And there's a tangasm. That's what it's called. Is like
Ooh.
when you you eventually, or maybe I had a tangasm very quickly because I started with good dancers to lead me. So what I want to create for people is they get to have the experience of dancing with experienced dancers. Because when you have two beginners, you're probably not going to have a tangasm. Like it's just not going to happen. But if you are a beginner, especially a beginner follower, and you can be sensitive and be led by someone who is an experienced dancer, you do have a chance of feeling a tangism very quickly. And it's like I'm thinking of putting together a page of my tango story, and I have videos of me like after a few weeks of dancing with this little upturned smile of bliss being led by this dancer. And it's like, it's something so special. And there's someone in Buenos Aires called Rodolfo Dinzel, who's sort of a theorist of tango. And the way he describes it as is the dance is a search for the return to the mother's embrace. So for both men and women, leaders and followers, that the embrace of tango, which is a hug, is like seeking to return to be in your mother's arm as a baby. And that's a little bit of what the tangasm is like you're like, oh, I'm being held and I'm dancing and you just feel something so amazing.
Wow. So, what, because I know somebody else is asking this question, what exactly is a tangasm?
So a tangasm is a moment, I would call it an all-body orgasm, really, of
Yeah.
dancing and music and connection. And yeah, I mean, like for me, a tangasm feels like my skin cells are just like glowing in a way. And there was a moment with that woman, Greet, who was my friend, where I just so distinctly remember running to her after a tango lesson and saying, I think tango might be better than sex. And like that was after a tangasm. I was like, and there's no STI, there's control. Like you don't have to like negotiate. I mean, tango is a little bit like a one night stand. You dance 4 songs with someone in a tanda, and then you say thank you, goodbye.
Wow.
So it's very clean in a way, and it's basically a way to feel your sensuality, to feel like a woman, to be complimented. Especially in Buenos Aires, they're very good at like making you feel beautiful and saying nice things to you, and then it's over. Ciao. So it's like it's basically can be a whole bunch of one night stands in a night.
Wow. I'm there. Sign me up.
I know, it's pretty special. Yeah,
um,
a tribe, like the people within this culture form a worldwide tribe basically who love tango.
yeah. This was amazing. Now like I've just done a little bit of tango, but this has like opened my eyes to the possibilities.
Mhm.
Is there any last thoughts you want to share? I know that there's lots of information about the actual Tango Adventure on your website.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm really excited about it. We're going to stay together in a guest house, and I'm going to create this experience. So if you have tango experience or you don't, it'll work for you because the instruction will be personalized. And we're going to do cool things too, like look at the street art in Buenos Aires and eat together and just basically explore. And this everything I'm talking about now is part of the new book that I'm writing that is tentatively called Wet. A really bold title. That's why it's tentative, and I'm figuring out if I can like roll with that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, this is stuff I'm deeply passionate about. I'm writing about. If you come on the trip, then you get to see what will be in this book, in this memoir that I'm writing. So it's like getting a sneak peek. And in addition, I'm going to be in Buenos Aires for a longer period of time because I'm basically like to spend a few months there a year because I love it so much. And I may do one-on-one coaching and experience if you're not able to come during the week of May 24th to the 31st. So basically, people should just check what's available on my site, sashacagen.com.
Okay, great.
Yeah. I love to talk about tango.
I love to hear about tango, apparently. Well, thank you so much. This was incredible. And there will be links to the website and to find more information and how to join this amazing adventure. Thank you so much for chatting with me. This was incredible.
Thank you.